Dear students, good morning. Myself Dr. Ganesh Prasad Behera, Founder Chairman, UTKAL International School, Chaudhar, Cuttack. Dear students, today I have planned to discuss about the first chapter of Civics of class 10. The topic name is power sharing. Dear students, it is a very nice topic for you. On history, you have learned the system of monarchy, one man rule, and how critical and how painful the monarchy rules to the peoples or to the country. But when the peoples, the countries are outcome from the monarchy system, then they adopt the system of democracy or federalism. So, in the system of democracy or federalism, the first important thing is power sharing. Power is not to be one man's hand. It should be shared to everyone, every people, every community, every caste and every linguistic peoples. So it is a very benefited to the society, to the country for its development and for the economic growth. So mainly the power sharing refers to the sharing or division of power between various political parties and various sections of society. The main meaning of the power sharing is, students, power sharing refers to the sharing or division of power between various political parties and various sections of society. So, dear students, on your chapter on this book, power sharing of Belgium and Sri Lanka, there is two models of two countries. One is Belgium and another is Sri Lanka. Students, you know Belgium is a European country and Sri Lanka is a Asian country, and basically Sri Lanka is an island. So on this chapter we have to first discuss about the Belgium. Dear students, I have told you that Belgium is a European country. Belgium is a small European country, has Dutch, French and German speaking populations. There are mainly basically three language speaking population. First one is Dutch, second one is French and third one is German speaking populations. While if we go to Belgium, we found that 59% of the total population of the country live in the Flemish region. Means they are speaking the language French, Flemish region. How many percentage? 59% of the total population of the country live in the Flemish region and speak Dutch. Sorry, dear students, the Flemish regions, the peoples are speak Dutch. That means 59% of the total population of the country live in the Flemish regions and speak Dutch language, and other 40% of the people live in the Wallonia region and speak French. And in Brussels, the capital, the main point of the Belgium, the capital of the Belgium, about 80% of the people speak French, while the remaining 20% speak Dutch. It is the languages division of Belgium if you divide it on linguistic basics. Now, dear students, we go to the map of Belgium. Then you found that there is a yellow regions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That yellow region is Dutch speaking region. Peoples are speaking Dutch languages, and here there is red marking areas, that is French speaking peoples are living here, and there is a small, you note down here, you see a small area on peach color. This is known as Brussels, the capital of the Belgium. And here the green areas, that is German speaking peoples. So we have seen on the map of the Belgium, there are different linguistic divisions among the country. So, but we found that in yellow region, there is also a Dutch government, and in red area, there is also French speaking community has own government, and Brussels has also, in peach color you see small region, Brussels has also own government, and the German speaking in green area, they have also own government. But lastly, the four areas make Belgium, and they have a own separate government for Belgium. It's a very interesting thing that 3-4 type language speaking zones, but they have united and they have a own government where they have shared their powers equally. So you know, in Belgium the minority is the French speaking population was rich and powerful. Though in Belgium the French speaking peoples are minorities because they are in small rate of population, but they are rich and powerful. Why? This was resented by the Dutch speaking population as they received the benefits of education quite late, because where the French peoples are more educated than the Dutch peoples, due to Dutch peoples enter the educations in very late. Though 59% peoples are speaking Dutch, but they are not proper educated. They are entered the education on the late. So this sparked tension between the two communities, because there should be crisis, there should be problem, there should be conflict between the two communities, French and Dutch. But however, this problem was solved by the political leaders of the Belgium, who wanted the people to stay in a peaceful with one another. This is the credit. The credit goes to the politician, the political leaders of the Belgium, that they united the French speaking people, Dutch speaking peoples, and also German speaking peoples unitely. So there should be accommodation, there should be a facility, there should be a benefit for each community, so that the Belgium is impacted and the peoples are happy. So now we discuss about the accommodations in Belgium. Dear students, you know, in Belgium, the government handled the community difference very well. Okay, they handled the community difference. French community, Dutch community, German community, they handled. In Belgium, the government handled the community difference very well. Dear students, between 1970 and 1993, between 23 years, Belgium leaders amended their constitution 4 times, came up with a new model to run the government. There, where there is necessary, there is the requirement of people, they have to delete the gaps between the communities. So between 1970 to 1993, Belgium leaders amended their constitutions 4 times. That is 4 times they amended their constitutions and came up with a new model to run the government, to compensate the all, to accommodate the all language speaking peoples, all zonal regions to a one point. So here are some of the elements of the Belgium model. There is a discussion about Belgium model, why Belgium is united, why they are united, why they are developed, why they tackle the different communities. So the points, the first point is the constitution prescribes that the number of Dutch and French speaking ministers shall be equal in the central government. Dear students, listen, it is a very important thing. that if there is accommodation, that same 50-50%, the constitution prescribed that number of Dutch and French speaking ministers shall be equal. Okay, there should be no difference, equal. If there is 5 ministers, then there is 5 ministers from French speaking. So Dutch speaking and French speaking ministers shall be equal in the central government. Some special laws require the support of the majority of members from each linguistic group. Okay, there is a law, special law to protect, to require, to support the majority member or from each linguistic group. Okay, they keep speciality, they keep focus on each linguistic groups. Thus, no single community can make decision unilaterally. No single community. So every linguistic community, every regions are role on the government. No single community can make decision unilaterally. Then the second, the main important point of Belgium model is the state governments are not subordinate to the central government. Subordinate. The state governments are not subordinate. They are individual. They take separate decisions for their individual areas. So the state government are not subordinate to the central government. Then the third important point, that Brussels has separate government. Brussels has a separate government in which both communities have equal representation. You know, in Belgium there is a small area. Here there is Brussels, that is a small area. Here, this is a Brussels in peach color. This is declared as a separate government in which both communities have equal representation. Dutch community and French community as the equal role on their centralized government, which is independent government at capital at Brussels. And the fourth important point is, apart from the central and the state government, apart from central government and state government, there is a third kind of government. The community government is elected by people belonging to one language community. One language, okay? They are linguistic communities. Which communities? Dutch, French and German speaking. No matter where they live, the government has the power regarding cultural, educational and language related issues. The government is sensitive. Government has taken the responsibility that the community government elected by the people belonging to one language community, just like Dutch, French and German speaking, no matter where they live. This government has a power regarding cultural, educational and language related issues. It is a sensitive care by the government. So these are the essential points that of the model of Belgium model, which is known as Belgium model. So these arrangements in Belgium, okay, this is arrangement, this is a challenge in Belgium was successful and avoided any kind of tension between the two linguistic communities, Dutch and German. But this arrangement in Belgium was avoided any kind of tension between the two communities. This also negated by possibility of the division of the country in linguistic lines. It is a very important point. Due to this model, due to this rule, there is no chance to division of the country by linguistic religion. So this is about the Belgium model. It is a very good model, very nice model. They have arranged, they have take care, they are take sensitiveness for the united of the country. Those there are Dutch speaking peoples, German speaking peoples. Now same condition, if we comes from Europe to Asia, there is I have told you that the model, there is a Sri Lanka, is island, is a small country. So if we look and we discuss about the Sri Lanka comparison to the Belgium, it is an island, a nation having population of 2 crores, very small country, it's island and the population is 2 crore. But the same as in Haryana, in our country, if we compare a state, Haryana is a small state. Haryana population is near about 2 crores. Same as Sri Lanka is island, and Sri Lanka's population is near about 2 crores. So Sri Lanka has a diverse population, different community populations are in Sri Lanka. The major social groups are the Sinhala speakers, 74%. In Sri Lanka, the Sinhala speaking peoples are 74%, and the Tamil speakings or speakers are only 18%. Among Tamils, there are two subgroups. Your students, you know, Sri Lanka is divided by sea, okay, from India. So, and very nearer to the Tamil Nadu of our country. So, the Tamils are two groups. One is Sri Lankan Tamils and another is Indian Tamils. Means there is Sinhala speakers are basically the native peoples of the Sri Lanka. But the Tamilians, those are 18%, they are divided into two parts. One is Sri Lankan Tamils and another is Indian Tamils. So, among that 18%, Sri Lanka Tamils are 13% Tamil natives of the country, and another 5% are the Indian Tamils came from India during the colonial period as plantation workers. Do you know colonial means those who are ruled by the Britishers. So Britishers, what are they are doing for farming work? They are taking peoples from India to Sri Lanka for plantation work, tea gardening, coffee, other works, and their peoples are settled in Sri Lanka and they are known as Indian Tamils. So the Sinhala speakers are 74% and the Tamil speakers are 18%, and among Tamilians 18%, there is Sri Lankan Tamil speaking, that is 13%, and Indian Tamils, they are 5% who had shifted from the India to Sri Lanka on the time of colonial. So it is a map. If we go for a map, we easily see this is the map of the Sri Lanka. So dear students, Sri Lanka became independent of colonial rule from Britishers. Sri Lanka became independent from Britishers in 1948 after 1 year of India's independence. We got independent in 1947, but Sri Lanka got independent in 1948. There were two major communities. I have told you in Sri Lanka there are two major communities. So Sinhalese are the Sinhalese and Tamilians. The Sinhalese were the majority, and hence after being elected to power, the Sinhalese leaders followed as a series of majoritarian policies in order to ascertain the supremacy of their community. You see, this is the yellow color. The yellow color area is dominated by Sinhalians. So there is big area is covered by the Sinhalians. So after they came to their politics or their ruled the government, they show their supremacy, that we are the head. The Singhali communities are the head and other communities are dominated. So another conflict arises, that by an act passed in 1956, in the year 1956, but after 8 years of the Sri Lankan independence from the Britishers or closing of the colonial rules, Sinhala was recognized as the official language. Only other language cannot used as official language of the country, and professional positions in government jobs were given to the Sinhalese. So what happened after the independent in 1948? They got independent after 8 years. 1956, they passed act. A law is passed by the Sri Lankan government that the Sinhala was recognized as the Sinhala is the only official language of the country, and professional positions in order to government jobs were given to Sinhalese, only professions, high positions to give to the Sinhalese peoples or Sinhalese speaking peoples. And third thing is, all these measures led to dissent among the Tamilian community, which finally what happened? Suppressed into a civil war, and they go for a civil war with the Tamilians, demanding the formation of an independent Tamil state in the northern and eastern part of the Sri Lanka. Here we see, this is the color, this color, this side, this is the northern and the eastern part of the Sri Lanka. We see these areas are covered by the Tamilians. So they demand for an independent country of that area because they are suppressed, they are dominated by the Singlas. So what happened? And it led to a what? They demanding the formation of an independent and Tamil state. Okay, and they start a civil war, a conflict among the two communities, Sinhalese and Tamilis. So what happened? Now thousands of people were killed in the civil war. You know, civil war is a very vital thing, very critical thing. We pray to God that should not happen within any country, because own peoples, own populations are fight among them. So what happened in Sri Lanka? Thousands of people were killed in the civil war. Then we find that it is a model we find in Belgium and Sri Lanka dealt with the issue of power sharing differently. In Belgium, they have also power, but they give share to the every community, Dutch communities, French communities, every communities, they give the equal power. But in compared to Sri Lanka passes the laws for the bigger community, not take care of the lower community, Tamil community. They also take care of the Sinhala community. So both linguistic groups had avoided any possibilities of clashes among the Dutch and French speaking communities. Belgium handled it is a very well, and they moves all the barriers between the two communities, Dutch community and French community. But in Sri Lanka, the policies of the majority community led a civil war and threatening the unity of the country. This is I think you well understand about Belgium and Sri Lanka model. Then there is a need, dear students, need of power sharing. Why power sharing required? A question will be arise on your mind, the need of power sharing. So why power sharing is required? Power sharing is desirable because of two major reasons. There are two major reasons. One is prudential region and another one is major region. So dear students, first we are here to discuss about prudential region. So it reduces. What is prudential region? Prudential region means it reduces any chances of conflict between social groups. First aim to reduce the conflicts between the social groups by avoiding conflicts. Political stability and unity of the country can be maintained. If there will be no conflict in social groups, then student, what happened? Then the political stability and unity of country can be maintained. And another, the important thing is dictatorships of the majority community can be oppressive for the minority and can even weak the majority community will. So if there is crisis, so doctor, if only one community will be destroyed or damaged, then as compared to moral region, in moral region, power sharing is the true spirit of the democracy. Okay, power sharing. Okay, we see in prudential region, if there are any chances, there it reduces. But in moral region, power sharing is the true spirit of the democracy. Every section of community has right to be consulted or how they are to be governed. That is a responsibility. Sharing, there is a faith, and governance should be carried out keeping in mind the larger interest of each section of the community. There is a responsibility of the government. A moral region, well, there are two regions, that is prudential, another is moral region. In prudential region, country is united, there is no conflict between the social groups and they avoid conflicts. Political stability of the country can be maintained, unity of the country is maintained, and जो dictatorship of the major community is avoided and the minority can even weak the majority community as well. And similar moral region, power sharing is the two spirit, everyone is the part of the government, everyone enjoys the power and that govern the larger interest of the every community. Then different forms of power sharing. Dear students, now we will discuss the powers of different forms, how many forms and how the power sharing is completed. In democracies, power is shared in various ways. In democratic country, India is a democratic country, the country where is democratic, so power is shared in different or various ways. The sharing of power among different organs of the government, so different government are different parts and the power is sharing to the different organs. So for example, a government has 3 organs, okay, so a government has 3 organs mainly. What? First is legislative, second is executive and third is judiciary. 3 organs, first is legislative, second is executive and third one is judiciary. And the main thing, separation or division of power among the 3 organs ensure that no organ becomes too powerful. 3 organs are bonded and 3 organs work unitedly, but same as it is a watch, it has governed that no organ becomes too powerful. And the second point is, in such system, one organ also keeps a check on the other organs of the government. This results in maintaining balance of power. There is a check system that one organ also keep check on the other organ of the government and it results in maintaining the balance of power. The main aim is balance of power. We are discussing the first point, sharing of power among different organs of the government. And the third point is, for example, judges who are appointed by the executive can check the functioning of the executive or the legislature. Okay, the judges, there is a courts, you know, district court, high court and supreme court, and the judges are appointed by whom? By executive, appointed by the executive, but they check the function of the executive and as well as legislator. The ministers are also responsible to the parliament. We know that we have a parliament, every democratic country has a parliament, so the ministers are responsible to the parliament. This is called a system of checks and balances. So mainly the system sharing of power among different organs and government is known or called as the system of checks and balances. Then the second point is power sharing among different level of government. Okay, on first point we have discussed the sharing of power among different organs of government. The second point is power sharing among different levels of government. So dear students, in a federal government, in a democratic government, there was 2 main levels of government, the union or the central government and the state government. It is in every country, in democratic country, in federal government, there are 2 main levels of government, the union government and which is known as the central government, and another is the state government. While the central government looks the administration and law and order of the entire country. The central government is responsible for which is responsible. The central government looks after the administration and law and order of the entire country. The responsible safety, security, law and order of the entire country and as a whole. But in the meanwhile, the state government, what the duty and responsibility of the state government? The state governments look after the administration and law and order of the own states. That is only own states. Just like we have lived in state Odisha, our Odisha government or the state government look after the only administration and law and order of our own state of Odisha. And another thing is municipal corporation and village panchayats are the local unit of administration. We know on our surroundings. If we are living in a city area, we are under municipality. If we are in village area, there is a panchayat. So municipality and panchayat has also certain responsibility for the local unit of administration. They are also responsible to perform the local unit of administration. Then the third one is sharing of power among different social groups. Dear students, we know that in every country of the world there is different in linguistic, social groups and many ways. So sharing of power among different social groups is very important for the power sharing, important for the part of power sharing. So the sharing of power among various social, linguistic or communities is another form of power sharing, that every person, every social groups, every linguistic division groups and every communities also same power, same equal shareholders in the government of the power, where representation given to the weaker sections of society and religious minorities in the government ensure the diversity and the unity of the country. Dear students, in a democratic country, no one, no group can found harassed or undeveloped. So representation in government, involvement, representation given to the weaker section of society and religious minorities. There is big communities and low communities, minorities communities in the government ensure the diversity and unity of the country. And another main point is, in India, the system of reserved constituencies in the assemblies and the parliament is an example of power sharing among different social and ethnic groups. Dear students, last some days we have completed our elections. So we found there is a reserve for SC peoples, for ST peoples. So this shows for general categories of people. This shows in India the system of reserved constituencies. Some constituencies are for scheduled tribe peoples, for scheduled caste peoples, for general people. So it shows that the assemblies and parliament is an example of power sharing among the different social and ethnic groups. And the last point is power sharing among political parties, pressure groups and movements. It is a very important point or step of the power sharing. Okay, dear students, in democracy, more than one political party exists. Your democracy is not a monarchy system. Different political parties and groups exist in democracy. People have the freedom to vote for the political parties. People have freedom. They will not be forced to vote a one party. Such competition among various political parties guarantees that power is not concentrated in the hands of the one political party only. It's an example we see from 1947 Congress is ruled majority of time up to 2014. But 2014 there is a change. Last 10 years it is governed by Bharatiya Janata Party, by BJP, led by Narendra Modi ji. So it shows that the power is not concentrated in the hands of the one political party only. And another important thing is, dear students, sometimes an alliance of one or more political parties is voted to power. Then just example of election of 2024. Here the Bharatiya Janata Party has not got the fully power to form the government or fully mandate. So at that time, Telugu Desam Party and Janata Dal United has supported to Bharatiya Janata Party to form the government. So this is known as the alliance. The alliance is known as NDA, National Democratic Alliance. So alliance, BJP and other parties make alliance to form the government. So this is known as a coalition government. Then many sections of society such as traders, farmers and workers may form their own interest groups, and you see there are Kisan groups, there are political groups, different groups can influence the decision making body by the government. They put andolans, they put strikes to check the decision of the government. This ensures that voices of each section and society are heard, and they are the part of the democracy or part of the power sharing. Dear student, this is all about your first chapter of civics, power sharing. So once again, if we see the recap revision, that power sharing refers to the sharing or division of power between various political parties and various sections of the society. Then two models, one is Belgian model and another is Sri Lankan model. Belgium is a European country and Sri Lanka is an Asian country. In Belgium, there is Dutch speaking people, French speaking people and German speaking people. But the government of Belgium accommodated such a rule that every people is the part of the government and they rules in a peacefully, they live their life in a peacefully. As compared to Sri Lanka, there is only two communities, one is Sinhala communities and another is Tamil communities. But due to the dominance of the Sinhala higher communities, Tamil communities may become fearless and they started what? War between the two communities within the civil war within the countries. So these are the comparison between two models, Belgium model and Sri Lanka model. And another is need of power sharing. For two regions, power sharing is required. One is prudential region and another is moral region. Then different form of power sharing. How power sharing is successful. So first one is sharing of power among different organ of the government. That is executive, the legislature government, there is legislature, executive and judiciary. That is under sharing power among different organ of government. Another is power sharing among different level of government. That is union government, or central government, and another is state government. And as well as in lower area, that is what? Municipalities and panchayatis. Then third one is sharing of power among different social groups, reserve of seats, different actions to be taken. And fourth one is power sharing among political parties, pressure groups and movements. So dear students, these are all about your first chapter. I think I have tried to describe clearly and it will be helpful on your future exam. Dear students, thank you. Once again, myself Dr. Ganesh Prasad Behera, Founder Chairman, UTKAL International School, Chaudhar, Cuttack. Thank you. Jai Jagannath.